So my name is Zoe and I'm going to be giving commentary on some of my old pictures. So if you don't know me, then you probably don't know that I've been doing photography for almost 10 years now. So I started when I was like 15. I'm self-taught, so this is actually my very first camera that I had. It's a Sony Cybershot. My grandma bought this for me like when I was, I'm gonna say 14 maybe. I don't know, I just know I really wanted one because like it was back in like the MySpace days and I was like, everyone takes these cool like selfies, you know what I mean? And so I wanted a digital camera like so bad, so my grandma bought me one. And then when I was 15, I actually dropped out of high school, so I guess that was like, so that you know like kind of what I was going through during that time that I started taking photography more seriously. My dog is right here, okay. So yeah, I had just dropped out when I was 15, and where I'm from, I don't know how it is other places, but you can't get your GED until you're 17 and you can't start working until you're 16. So basically I was 15 and I didn't have anything to do really. So I just started obviously being on the internet a lot. I discovered Flickr. Okay. So I discovered Flickr and I would look at people's pictures and stuff like that, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take pictures, mostly self-portraits, because a lot of the people that I followed, they did a lot of self-portraits, so that's just like a little background. So I'm going to be looking at some of my old pictures. The ones that I'm going to show you are going to be the ones that I took during like the first 2 years of doing photography. So I was 15 or 16 years old, so this is like 9 and 10 years ago. So I'm just gonna look at the pictures on my phone, and then hopefully I'm gonna like pop them up right here so you guys can see what pictures I'm talking about. So yeah. Let's start, and I'm gonna try to do this in chronological order so that it's kind of like, you know, from like the longest to more recent. And I'm trying not to make this a long video because my camera overheats and I don't want it to shut off and have to like pause and start over. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. In this picture, I'm wearing a Metallica shirt, which I thought was like super cool. And yeah, I'm just sitting in my grandma's yard, and I'm actually looking up at her as she's like standing on the porch, like looking down at me. So that's one of my older pictures. So this one was 10 years ago. I was 15 in this picture. So yeah. And this next one, I was actually kind of proud of this next one. This is like my first like hair in motion kind of like picture, and I think they were like pretty popular, I guess, on Flickr at the time, and so I wanted to like do that, but I don't know, I always looked like dumb. I don't know. So this is like the first one that I thought was cool. And this picture reminds me of the Syd Barrett album, Madcap Laughs, because I think I was really into that album when I took this picture, so that's like what I think of when I see this. In this next one, I started to like experiment more with like shadows and just like contrast, I guess. And in a lot of these pictures you're gonna see me probably up against the same wall because I pretty much just did all of these in my room, so. And in this one, this is like kind of when I started to experiment more with Photoshop and textures and like, I guess, blending layers, things like that. then I started, I guess, like, trying to be, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. Like, have like a concept, like do like concept pictures, like, oh, I would think of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this concept, and this is what I'm gonna do, and whatever. So it's like, this is like a good, like, I don't know, picture to show for that, because it's just, it's like, what? I don't even know, like, I don't know, honestly. But yeah, interesting. So the next two, I think I started getting more into like, just like how the human form is, and like just how like bodies look, and you know, shadows and stuff like that. I really like to play around with the lighting because I didn't have any professional lighting or anything, so I just used the sun. Um, so I would kind of like, when my parents weren't at home, I would like go in different places in the house and just try and experiment with the lighting in those areas. So this is kind of one of those things. This was in the living room at my parents' house at the time, and the lighting is actually coming from like down the hall and from our like glass door that's in the front. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's my mom's skirt I was wearing. I don't know, I was just like, I would just find things around my house and just be like, okay, I don't know, I'm gonna do something with this. Then this next one, I started getting into more like, I don't know, creepy, like horror type stuff. Like, I don't know, just really, yeah, I don't know. And I actually really like this picture because I like the muted colors in it, and I remember like doing this. Like, it's weird, like when I look at these pictures, like I can remember exactly what I was doing, you know. And this bag, it's like, the bag on my head, it's actually a tote bag, and I want to say it had like AC/DC on the other side or something like that. And then this picture, actually, when I think of like pictures that I've taken, this one does not stand out in my mind at all. Like, I just scrolled past this one, and when I saw it, I just thought, like, I don't know, it looks so cute. Like, here I was like 15. This is in my room again. This is my favorite like corner to take pictures in. And I don't know, I feel like this is a good like picture. Kind of just describes like how I was, you know, at the time. Since I had dropped out of school, I was actually really depressed at this time of my life because like I didn't get to see my friends at all. And then like my home life is not that great. I mean, so I was at home like all the time and I didn't get to see my friends. And I remember like this being the point in my life, I guess, where I realized kind of like what depression was and like what that felt like. Not that I, you know, didn't like have it before or anything, but I just specifically remember like being 15 years old was like really hard for me at that time, just because like I didn't have friends around. I literally just stayed in my room all the time on the internet. Tumblr was like really big, so I was always on Tumblr, and I don't know, it was just like kind of a sad time. But like when I look at this picture, it's like I can like, I don't know, she's cute. Alright, in this picture, I don't really know what I was doing. Kind of, again, like one of those like concept idea things, I guess, but I just painted the word change on my arm, and I don't know, it's kind of cool, I guess. Actually, I've had like several blogs reach out to me and want to use this picture for their blog posts, so I want to say this picture is on at least 2 to 3 people's blogs that I don't know. They just like reached out to me and was like, can we use this picture for our blog? And I was like, yeah, sure, that's cool. But yeah. And this next one I was also experimenting with painting. Again, we're in the same corner of my room up against this wall. So I feel like since I had like a limited kind of area, I just like to play around with the way like my body looked and just like makeup, like not really makeup because I wasn't into makeup at this point, but like paint. Obviously I just painted, so this is from, it's a combination of Pink Floyd The Wall on my stomach and then Dark Side of the Moon Prism on my chest. And I actually think it looks kind of cool. Like the wall came out a little like wavy, but I actually don't hate it. So and the next two pictures, I think I was trying to do like a phobia type series. And again, this is like me like playing around with Photoshop more. So in this first one, I guess it's like a fear of numbers is what I was doing. So I have like these numbers like written on my arm and whatever. And then in the second one, it's a fear of hands. So I edited my hands off my body and then just like photoshopped more of my like arms and stuff around. Just kind of like after me, you know. And then in this one, when I look at this, I feel like it's pretty representative of like who I am, kind of. I feel like the me in the middle is like me, you know. Hey. My dog, what the hell? Okay. So yeah, I feel like the me in the middle is like, it's like me, you know, and then the ones on either side of me, it's kind of like different parts of my personality when I look at it. Because I feel like I do have like very different sides of me, but at the same time it's like all a part of me, so is it really different, you know? I don't know. But anyways, that's what I think of when I look at this picture. And that I'm standing on a stool on the right side, and then in the middle I'm wearing a flannel shirt, which I still have, and it was actually my grandma's flannel shirt, and it's like one of my favorite shirts that I have. And this next one, I actually don't think I've ever posted this one because I didn't like how it came out, but I just decided I'm going to share it right now. And this is like right around the time Coraline came out, so that's what I was doing here. I was just kind of like trying to Photoshop a button on my eye. So that's basically it for that one. And this one, again, it's kind of like me playing around with lighting again. This is actually in the dining room of the same house. So I really like the lighting in this, and we had like a window seat, and so that's where this is at. I'm like laying on the window seat, but then I just like rotated the image to make it look more interesting. And then this next one, or the next two actually, yeah. These were taken in a trailer, an old trailer that's like outside where my grandma lives, or lived, yeah. But as a kid, I would always like go out into, cause like basically there's like a field, and there's like some old trailers like back there that they're not livable anymore. They're just like decomposing basically, like the floors are like rotted out of it and stuff. But I always like to go in there and just kind of like explore around and whatever. So I took these pictures there, these next two, and I just really like that place. Like it brings back like good memories of just like being a kid and just like being outside and exploring, and so yeah. The next two I was actually pretty proud of. This thing that's on my face is actually, I want to say like a stocking, like a sock, and I just like cut holes in it and put it over my head, and then I had this like fabric around my chest with some like ropes, and it's kind of like, I don't know, reminded me of Lady Gaga a little bit. But yeah, and then the next one's from the same thing. And yeah, I thought these were pretty cool. Again, it's the same wall, same corner of my bedroom. And then this one is another example of me just like finding objects around my house just to make interesting. I don't know. So here I've like taken some hangers and like put them around my body. Reminds me of like a dinosaur or something. And this picture here, this is like the first one that I really tried to do, I don't know, some editing in. I mean, not the first one, but I feel like this editing was more challenging than the other types of editing that I had done. So basically what I did was I took a picture with like my head down and my hair like hanging down. And then in the picture of me in the chair, my hair is actually in a bun. So then I photoshopped the hair from one picture into this one. And I thought it came out pretty cool. This is kind of like inspired by Brooke Shaden, I think is how you say her name. She was one of my favorites to follow on Flickr for a while. These next two I took out in like our house had like the sunroom kind of thing in the back. And so both of these were taken out there. I'm just thinking like how did I remember I was smoking it was like a strawberry flavored Swisher Sweet, and I'm just wondering how I got that because I wasn't old enough to buy it. And I don't remember how I got it, but okay. Then let's see, in this one again it's just me playing around with lighting. It's like what I did mostly. This one is taken in my backyard, and this one reminds me of a Gorillaz song, and I can't remember which one, but when I look at it I think of the Gorillaz. I don't know. I'm trying to go fast because I don't want my camera to turn off again, and I figured about like 15 minutes is when it cuts me off, so. This picture I took in my mom's shower. It was like, it's like a walk-in shower and then had like the glass door that you close. So that's where this picture was taken. And then this one, it was kind of, I think this was when Where the Wild Things came out, like the movie, 2009. So this was 9 years ago. So that's why I kind of went with this, like made a little crown out of foil. I was very, I don't know, it was very aesthetic for me, that that movie. And then this picture reminds me of a song called Your Ex-Lover Is Dead by Stars. And I remember when I took this picture and I really liked it a lot. I don't know. I feel like whenever I like a picture, it doesn't get the kind of response that I'm looking for or that I hope for, I guess. I always like certain pictures that don't tend to get like as much attention. I don't know. And I feel like this was one of those that I feel like didn't really get any attention, but that I really like. And I don't know, I just like the way like the light is on my face and how my skin looks, and then just like the kind of like negative space off to the one side there. But yeah, this picture makes me feel like nostalgic, kind of. And then the last picture that I'm going to share is one of the last ones that I took with this camera, this Sony Cybershot, before I got my DSLR camera. And this is around Christmas time because that's around the time that I got my Canon. And so that's why I'm wearing the Santa hat or whatever. And this teddy bear that I have in like several pictures, I've had since I was like little, like since I was like a baby. So I actually still have this bear like packed away, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I've just had it a long time. But yeah, so those are pretty much all the pictures that I have to share with you right now because I don't want this video to be like super long. But that pretty much covers sort of, kind of, my first like 2 years of photography. Obviously that's not all the pictures I've taken because we'd be here forever. I just kind of picked a few from that time frame. So I guess if you're like interested in me doing another one of these videos, I can continue like progressively adding commentary to some of my other pictures. But yeah, it would have to be split up in like kind of like a series. So let me know if you want to see that. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Okay, my dog decided he's gonna bring his bone over here and chew on it, I'm sure, so that we can listen to him the whole time. No. You're not making this easy for me. Go away. I'm trying to make a video. Why do you do this?